have officially been living in my van for 2 months, and I'll be honest with you, the tougher parts of this lifestyle can be pretty rough at times. Like everything else in life, the upside of living this way comes at a price. Van life and spiritual practice seem to go hand in hand. They both require the renunciation of worldly comfort and the rejection of common norms and expectations of our society. Yes, what you get in exchange is better than anything the mundane world can offer, but at the price of isolation and other forms of discomfort. Luckily, I'm no stranger to that territory. I left Chico and headed for the coast. I plan on staying out here for a couple of weeks until the Northern Nights Music Festival, and then I'll go north. Despite what the influencers might try to sell you, this is a countercultural lifestyle, and not a very glamorous one. Many, if not most people in our culture do not understand it, even though they may sometimes fantasize about doing it themselves. There's one word I have found that best encapsulates this experience: untethered. Even though we remain in the world, we have nothing connecting us to any one particular place or group of people. This means we inhabit anywhere, everywhere, and nowhere at the same time. While this is liberating, it is also incredibly disorienting. Every day each of us wakes up, eats breakfast, brushes our teeth, showers, uses the bathroom, works, and goes to bed. For most people, they don't have to think about when and where this is going to happen. For van dwellers, you must think this through ahead of time every single day. I seem to have joined what I can only call a parallel culture, consisting of other permanently transient people living in a kind of pseudo-exile. Most of them are honest and trustworthy, who like me have chosen this lifestyle. Some of them are not. Unfortunately, we all get painted by the same brush. Living this way has brought me into close contact with some of the forgotten and invisible people of our society, the soft white underbelly of folks who have found themselves on the street for one reason or another. It's often difficult to find places that are consistently hospitable to van dwellers. More than once, people have knocked on my door to grill me, or have just straight up yelled at me to leave. Yes, there are apps like iOverlander, where people share good places to park and sleep. But sometimes I end up driving much more than I would like to, when such places end up being inhospitable or closed for one reason or another. Once I drove more than an hour just to find a place that was secluded and safe enough for a 3-minute shower. Normally, I would do this at the gym, but out here on the coast, there just aren't any gyms, so you gotta get creative. Creative, resourceful, and bold. These are attributes you will need to develop if you don't have them already. Be prepared to stand alone and be uncomfortable, because no one is coming to save you. If you catch a fever, you're on your own, and the place you find yourself in might not be a great stay for an extended period when you're not feeling well. How many of you clean your bedroom every day, clean your car every day, and clean your office every day? Very few, I would imagine. However, when your bedroom is your office, is your car, well, you don't really have a choice. It's gotta get done. Now, I will admit I'm being a bit melodramatic here. It's quite nice in this van. I love when people on the street peek in and ask questions about it. But like I said, in a weird way, you don't get any days off. With all that said, van life is just a subset of life. Every living being has to struggle to survive. Animals, humans, or other. All beings have to find food, shelter, and community. A huge part of being alive is simply doing enough to keep your head above water another day. There is no path in life which is all sunshine and rainbows. Freedom and solitude come at the price of isolation and a certain kind of alienation. Every choice we make comes with a downside. No exceptions. All experiences are ultimately unsatisfying. This is what the Buddha meant with the first noble truth, that life is infused with suffering. He didn't mean that every moment of life is agony. He was pointing out that we all carry a craving for permanent satisfaction, and this satisfaction can never be found, as all experience is ultimately unsatisfying in one way or another. We wander around from indulgent escape to indulgent escape, trying to find that permanent fulfilling experience. However, without fail, that experience always seems to just elude us, or if we do get it, it doesn't last. Even when we have ecstatic experiences, they are ultimately temporary and leave us with only memories. So if all experiences are ultimately unsatisfactory, what can we do? We can invest in wholesome experiences, which are onward leading, and will slowly but surely reduce our craving for pleasure and our aversion to pain. Walk the path which leads to liberation and frees us from the bondage of craving, once and for all, one imperfect step at a time. See you on the path.